this and that, and they need, you present that problem. And when you do all of that, you sit, you wait, and you speak, and if it's 5 minutes, and you're off. But always time when you be on that, they're very, they're to the point, and they go. And these are just men. And you're talking about a God that you serve. How do you come to that God? I love the hymn writer to say, just as I am, without one plea. But that your blood was shed for me. And as you bid me come to you, O Lamb of God, I come. You know, I come because there's nothing good about me in coming to you. But you bid me. It is on your initiative that I'm here. And my life will change because of your goodness. Nothing good about me. And believers, that's how it goes for the soul. But let me say this. There's a lot of people that are very good drivers that drive on our highway. And yet, an accident killed them. You say, oh, I'm surprised. Don't be surprised. It's not that they hit anybody, but some lazy, slothful person who may believe that they can drink all the alcohol that they want and drive their car. They run into the person and kill them. Kill themselves and kill them. A lot of stories come of that. Every time you hear the breathalyzers, they hold the judge, they hold people in position, they're drunk driving above the speed limit. And all is for our protection. You wonder sometimes. A staggering amount of people in our world suffering because of other people. And as I was on the point of beauty, we have to take care of our health, all of us. Believers, if you can't neglect your health all the time. No. There are some people, the best way to take care of their health is to go to the health office. And they prescribe some tablets to them and some medicine. Well, most these days, no tablets that they actually drinking. Take this tablet, take that. And that's how they present their health. When they get back home, they eat the same old thing. They do the same old thing. And next week, my appointment is when? 25, the 25th. 25th, then yeah again. Tablets, and they feel like preserving their health. No. Look, you got to take care of your health as best as you can. And the last person I see is a doctor. But not to say I have anything against doctors. No. Let me know why I go to doctor. Dr. Franklin is our doctor. We go there. She's a very good doctor. Well, we haven't been there for a while. But was it our doctor? But we realize there are some people who doesn't take care of their health. And that's why they break down so regular. They're lazy to take care of themselves. And there are some beautiful people likewise who do not take care of themselves. And I'm speaking about young ladies and ladies. And there's some handsome men. And don't say who don't take care of themselves. You know, I didn't say ugly, no. I say handsome. Let me tell you something. If you don't take care of yourself, who will take care of you? I'm 73. I'm going to come to church to preach to you. Why you expect me to come here? Looking anyhow? No! I have to go in for the mirror. You need a shave. I have to go to the barber. You need to take a haircut. I have much to cut, but that's what is expected. And then I have to look at my tie, how it fits. Look at my shirt, make sure it's all right. Look at my suit. All this is fine up here. To do what? To talk to you, God's people. That's taking care of yourself. You know what it means to me for tomorrow? As the years progress, you fall into a discipline and you stick with it. If you're careless, anything goes. That is not good at all. Now, let me say this. The slothful person reaps a harvest, and that harvest leaves us with a lot killed on our highways and a lot of misery in our world because of that slothful, lazy attitude. A lot of people are suffering in our world. You know, the sin of doing nothing is like the sin of omission. You know, you should be doing something, but you do nothing. God expects of us, who He blessed with that, to do something. Now, the fact is, everything we do might bring us money, per se. But even in a house, here's a woman seeing about the children, doing this, doing that, doing that, everything. And she know, it might make much money, but she does what is necessary to keep these little ones in school, to go here, go there. Here's a man going outside there, doing things. We must get something done. And believers, if we fail to do, there are things that we should do, and if we fail to do, they come like the sins of omission and commission. Now, there are some things that we should do, and we fail to do them. So we sin by not doing what we should be doing. And there are some things that we are not doing, and we should be doing. Again, by omitting to do these things. What do you say? What do you mean by that, Pastor? Well, let me say this. What about being kind? That's why I made a reference to the certificate on the wall. There's a lot of preachers that when you look at the walls, it's beautiful, decorated, tell you that they have studied years or to have these diplomas or degrees on their walls. But the greatest service is not what you have on that wall. Your greatest service is how you love your people, how you serve your people. What access your people have to you? Do you really care about them? Or do you just meet them once in a while? Believers, all of these things mean much more when you realize that you learn something, that you could relate and love your people. I'm sorry for those people who are in places where they can hardly meet their pastor. Now, there's some churches so big that to meet the senior pastor is not always easy. But there are several pastors in the church. And you don't know who they are. But sometimes they themselves get so busy they can't even see you. But we hope and pray that those will make it easy. What the Bible is talking about for us is that for the lost, wide is the gate. You don't have to do much there. Just get in on the broad road. And what the Bible says does? The broad road leads to destruction. That's what the Bible says. And that's a fact. There are some parents that they give all kind of instructions to their children. Good instructions. But you know, out in the community, there's a little soul that their child loves to associate with, that make them do all the wrong things and hide it from their parents. So when they leave home and they meet that little soul, everything that wasn't telling them to do, they do it. And then they come back with a different face and go to mommy and daddy. So then one day when the police show up, they're surprised. What happened? Yes, officer, can I help you? I come to your child's name will be first thing you. Because the little tongue out there, he knows how to move in the system that he's in. And yours is more decent, but doesn't know how the runnings. You give your child name first. Then your child now, out of fear, might call everybody. But what I'm saying is this. They get themselves wrapped up, tangled up in the wrong things. Why? They're not hearing. I speak to some parents, you know the problem? The child not hearing. Not hearing, not hearing. Well, what can I tell you? If you get all the instructions that are good and you don't hear, you'll pay the price. Of course you'll pay the price. And that price out there is not as easy as it looks. Not as easy at all. When I used to be in Pretty Valley side, going in courts, we were walking on St. Vincent Street, and they had the little courts. In the early days, I can see the van and people handcuffed going in the afternoon time. It's a sad sight to see. A lot of young people. And in between, you meet some old people. But a lot of young people going down, 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 down. It can be that they were doing all the right things. Some choose the wrong way. And believers, laziness and idleness. My stepmother always said me, the devil find time, things for them to do. For idle hands and lazy hands. So in our little house, it was my father, my stepmother, my sister and I. I had colored work for me, and she had colored for her. We had a goat in that family. You know who was responsible to tie the goat out? Mine. You know who was responsible to move the goat around? Me. You know who give him some water to drink? And the goat have to tell me, the goat have to say thank you. Can't say thank you. The goat just have to take what I give him. And when I fail to attend to the animal properly, you know what I mean? I get up properly. And the goat pretty watch, you know. It doesn't matter where they go, that's my business. I had to serve him. But you know what it taught me? Mind your business. So when I had to take that goat off, put him there. Holiday time, you know, we're busy playing and things. I remember a goat. She gave me get time on next spot. I ran, carried some water for him. And I'm happy. Every time you give the goat water, yes, Daddy. Did you do so? Yes. You see that word yes? It's a wonderful word. When you hear no, everything changed. Can you imagine us appearing before God? We live in God's world. We had opportunities to do so many things here. And then to the last, have you accepted Christ as your Lord and Savior? And you said no. The question is, what do you do in this life? You're out of place. You're lost forever. Because this is God's word. And you had all the opportunity here to make that decision for Christ. And you rejected it. You rejected it over and over again. But now you're in the line. But soon you realize, these are all blood-born people. They who have come through sin and contamination, but they have washed their robes in the blood of the Lamb. They're heading on. But you, the choices you make. We read in the Bible about 10 virgins. And what the Bible shows us is that they all had oil in their lamps. And nothing is said about morality about these 10 virgins. Nothing is said that they were lying or cheating. But what is definitely said that they had oil in their lamp. But you know what their sin, the greatest sin was for 5 of them? It was slothful. They neglected to provide for themselves oil. So when their lamps wanted, none. For those of us who drive cars along the road, you know quite well, if you forget to put gas in your tank and your tank low, you know some people, they're driving, their tank low, the seat low, and they forget. Now you're not fully empty already. They needed and they forget. And they're coming down the highway, nice, and all of a sudden, catch up. You know how this is there? According to where you shut down, to go back with a container to get gas, or to get somewhere to do this for you, did this, inconveniencing people all the time now. So the rain falling, the car hot, because, you know, all of that because what? Slothfulness. People forgetting to do the things they should do. In other words, you're leaving undone the things you should do. And then when it becomes a bit of a headache for you, then you rush to do it. But may I say to you, you and I as Christians, we have to learn to give an encouraging word to a discouraging soul. There are many people who are discouraged out there, and they come to us. Please have an encouraging word that you can give to them. Sometimes there are people with heavy burdens that we meet. You know the song says you've got to try a little kindness. Try to make some burdens lighter. You can't make every burden lighter, but you can make some lighter for some people. We need to neglect or get a word from us. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. There are many people all tell you, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. There's a song that says, I'm sorry. Sometimes I listen to it. They're sorry, they're sorry, they're sorry, they're sorry, they're sorry. What do you know they're doing? Nothing. There's a gentleman in my area when I was small. He had a good work on the naval base, a time-day basis operating here. And he lived alone. When he got cancer, that's what they said he had. On his bed, you know what he says? I'm sorry. Not that I didn't make money in it. I'm sorry I didn't marry. All those years you have, riding back and forth from the naval base, making money, doing the dressing up, going here, going here. You're sorry. When you sick now and you see your life having away, I'm sorry I didn't marry.
So you still say sorry? That's how people don't know.
Good point.
You're sorry.
Some people never have the opportunity to say it.
They don't like to say it.
Some people never say it. And let me say this. There's a high price to these things. A very high price. Very, very high price. We'll leave that one there. You see, slothfulness is when you and I fail to do a loving deed. There's some people who are never kind. They were never kind to nobody.
That's right.
Never kind to nobody. And therefore, now in their life, they find that people are not kind. They're not loving. They don't think about nobody. They don't care about nobody. Now listen, they complain. Now, sometimes they grow up in a house with family. Nobody looks at them. Nobody does anything for them. And then there's another family on the other side. Everybody pack up there. Whether they want them there, they want them there. Oh, but it's a line you can say, okay. They carrying this, they carrying that, they're talking, they're laughing. That wasn't sick, but they have joy, they had a laugh on the sick bed that they have. And the other one here, nobody looks at them. That's an accident.
If you have plenty money, people will still come.
That is so with some people, and that's a mistake of many. That the younger generation care about you and your money. Of course, money is there, and they'll use it. But they'll dump you like a rag. And that's what killed a lot of people in our world. They had things, And they say, a lot of family leave lands and things like that. The children, of course, have the lands today. But they came with their parents. One girl said her brother, killed her father over the land. You know what he did? Killed her father over land. Man, want to share, he had to share the land and this and that. Killed him. Okay. So the father died. He had to go to jail. The land shared among everybody else. But then there's a lot in the heart of man. That's what the wickedness is. But the point is of this is not just the evil in the world is. What I'm trying to show you is this. That is what taking thousands of people to hell. Laziness, slothfulness. They carry over into their religious life the same approach to God. No, you can't do that. You cannot do that. What Paul asks us to do. Paul asks us in the book of Thessalonians to pray without ceasing. He asks us to pray on a regular basis, that this spirit will be removed from among our people. Because what he says, lazy, idle, the prayer life becomes neglected. So he asks us to pray. And there are many of us know that if we walk out the house without saying a prayer and asking God for guidance, like our whole name actually. Now there are many people who don't know that. But for those of us who are servants of God, we know. You can hardly leave your home without saying a prayer. We need God's guidance right through. What you and I have to keep looking at every day as we live life is that attitude of slothfulness. I remember it speaks about a disinclination to action or labor, a sluggishness, a laziness, and an idleness. In this service of God, you know what we are called to do? We are called to work. And we are called to, as servants, we lead others to Christ. But there are many, their life is stagnated. Not because you have any part in it. Attitude. The God you and I serve is such a great God that every facet of your life and my life, it changes. Some of us have a God that when there's certain things that God will change, no. The God you and I serve change everything. And this is what, when you know God, your life will be different because the God you and I serve, He has your life in His hands. He has our life in His hands, and He can change things for us. But one of the things that you must remember, after all you do here, you got to leave here. It's one of the wonderful things. Because you know whose will it is here? God's will. There are many people who never recognize that until the end. Many years ago, I was in the cemetery in Point 14. One of my aunts, my wife's uncle died, one of them, and I was there for that funeral. Here was a woman by a casket. She was alone, and she was looking for somebody to say a prayer, a minister to put him down in the earth. But we, around where our uncle was, a lot of people were there, including several ministers. And of course, singing and everything in the cemetery as they were putting that body down. Somebody said, I didn't see it personally, that when she got back for her husband who was there in the box waiting, they put him down. The undertakers who were there. They put the body in the earth. And they were covering already. See that? But in life, that same person who died and are buried like that. Of course, you don't get the cemetery unless all the things are proper. I don't care about church. I don't care about this. I don't care about that. In your life, you care about nothing. Okay, you die. Now your poor darling wife. One minister here, one minister there, they don't even know you. Now is the time that we really hold on, and not only hold on, but shed things that slowing us down in serving God. And many times you don't get the kind of encouragement say, well, everybody involved. No. You are called for this, do it. The what the Bible says, my grace is sufficient for you. Just go on and do it. And what you don't know, there's always somebody God has a rock to teach you. If there's one place that you can learn a lot, it's the church. There's always somebody who knows a lot about Him. And you meet people of almost every profession in church. You don't know, ask. And not only that, take time to look around and see for yourself if laziness and idleness is not impeding the progress of a lot of our people. Some people are to the point where they don't know what to do when they have some money. They just don't. When they have no money, they have a lot of ideas. When they have some money, they just don't know what to do. They have nobody, one. But it finishes quickly. Here's another person that have little too, but they can help somebody. They have nobody. This one can help somebody. And if they make them half of the money that person made, you'll wonder. It's just the Spirit in them that does this. God's Spirit teaches you to utilize even the little you have to be a benefit to yourself and even to others. That evil spirit, Satan, gets you to the point to believe, I'm a weight, I'm big, because you have all this behind you. It is not always simple. You're big for a while, but then again, you're cut down and you're gone.
Once a man, twice a child.
Good words. And that has been so for a generation to generation, because a great saying, my brother, once a man, twice a child. A lot of men today are in pampers out there. Men, they're sick. These same men, one time they were so proud. They treat very women like nothing. They brutalize them, they beat them, they all kind of thing. But today, when you watch them on their beds, who have them, who taking care of them? The very same people they abuse all their life, taking care of them. But we must thank God for both those people, especially our women, who at the end of our days bear with us. Because let me say this, sickness brings all of us down to nothing. My friend worked in a a nice position in the South many years ago. 6-footer, handsome kind of guy, speaks well, and got some strokes, a series of strokes. One of my friends told me when he went to a South nursing home, and he saw that soul in Pampers. Her stroke had gone down to nothing. He wondered. But you have a God, and I have a God, that is here to lift us up, to make us happy. We have a God who will redeem us from our sinfulness. We have a God who changes attitude. All I beg of you is, cast out laziness. Cast out idleness. Don't be sluggish as you approach God's business. And don't be sluggish as you approach your business.